Dean, can you honestly tell me that you forgot? Forgot the magnetism of Robin Zander or the charisma of Rick Nielsen?
That's kid stuff.
Kid stuff. How about the tunes? I want you to want me. The Dream Police. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Your mama's alright. Your daddy's alright. They just seem a little bit weird.
Stop listening to Space Station number 5. It's time for the return of Shell Center.
The first Shell Center, 2006. We're here today. We're going to be talking about it.
I'm fired up about it.
I'm fired up, and you know the main topic today.
Oh, the main topic is the Palooza.
It can only be the Palooza.
It was Shellapalooza. It was awesome. Thanks everybody for coming. Before we get to that, we've got the end of the year scorecard. Go ahead and close that one out for us.
Yeah, let me close out 2005 for everybody. And again, a pretty good year on a lot of accounts. Starting off, unfortunately, as we've talked about safety-wise, we didn't meet our objective. We had 11 injuries last year, total Shell and contract employees. Obviously not what we wanted. One of those, of course, being a lost time incident. So, probably the most significant focus this year is going to turn that safety performance around and get back to where we were in 2004. For those of you who want the numbers, our TRCF rate was 4.77. And the top rate was 1.12. The target for TRCF was 3, and the target for top was under 1. So, again, the main issue is 11 injuries, and we want to have none. That's where we are. On the environmental side, total number of scorecard incidents was 21, which actually matched our target for the year. Again, unfortunately, the overspray was one of them, but in terms of total number, we did meet the target, and we did have our 9th year in a row of reducing the number of environmental incidents. So that's still pretty good stuff. Utilization short of target, 83% overall versus a target of 90. Another big focus area that we're going to have to work on this year. Unbudgeted losses, however, while we were short of target, which was 2%, we ended up at about 3.55. Pretty good, actually better than 2004 when we were 3.8. So we got to look at the utilization issue and see what we have to work on, and in fact we'll be reviewing that next week. Cost management, much better than 2004. We were over budget by over $50 million in 2004. This year we came in $14 million over, really, and in fact held that gap from May of the year, so well done. And as I've told you before, our budget for 2006 is essentially flat for 2005 spend, so I think we're in good shape there. And then let me close it out and talk to you about net income, $367 million.
Let's just snap the salute right there.
A little knuckle up right there for that. So pretty good stuff. We'll have a little bit more summary coming to you via email, but that's 2005 for you.
Awesome. And going to give a quick scorecard update for year-to-date 2006. No injuries so far. Off to a great start there. Let's finish up this turnaround and get it done and move on. Environmental incidents, we have had 2 incidents. I think pretty much everybody knows about them. The spill at the wharf, a little less than 10 barrels, we think. And we've had community complaints as a result of that spill down at the marina. So obviously not a good thing for us to have happen, not a good way to start off the year, but thanks to all the people who responded so quickly to that, contained that spill, and we're going to do right by the folks that may have been impacted by that.
Absolutely, done a lot of good work there, and in fact we're actually helping out at the marina, so it's actually better than it was before.
Yep.
As part
we're
of
doing the Boy Scout thing. We're going to leave the campground
you got it.
better than when we
better
found
than
it.
we started. Quick operations update. Obviously, the turnaround has been going on a month earlier than scheduled. If you recall, we went into a December 9th versus a targeted date of January 13th in 2006. So a lot of people have been out here working hard over the holidays. At this point, as I think you're aware, several of the units are back running again. Alky, Hydrocracker, ACHT, Dimer is sitting there waiting for feed. CR2 is back. Right now, essentially, we are just today hopefully going to be in a position, let me rephrase that, since this will be playing 2 days later. Hopefully by the time you see this, the expander will be up and running at the cat cracker, and we will have be in a position of pulling the overhead blind, and hopefully have had catalyst in there and have it all sealed up. So we are hoping to have feed into the cat cracker this week. A couple of other units we're working on. We have a little bit of work to do to SR2, doing some work there on the waste heat boiler. Expect to get that restreamed this week. And finally, HP1, the big waste heat boiler that sits underneath the reformer furnace. We are having to do a significant amount of work there. We're in the middle of that, and we also expect to have that this week. So the good news is, by the end of this week, we expect to have all the units back up and running, expect to have this place humming again, and I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely, and you're welcome, by the way, for letting you give the operations.
Oh yeah. I know that you had it. You were ready for it.
And one other comment I need to make is that Reformer Furnace is my favorite Ronnie Montrose album. There's just no question about it. And speaking of Ronnie Montrose, let's just get right in to Shellapalooza. Awesome time was had by all. 3 surprise bands. We told you to bring your rock face and your funk face.
And the funk face.
And I think that was good advice.
Oh, you couldn't help but funk it out.
So we're just going to go act by act, and we're going to start off with Montrose.
Take it home, man.
How strong is Ronnie Montrose?
Unbelievable.
I mean, that was just too cool. The ultimate rock face I think I've ever seen.
It was a scary rock face.
I mean, it was.
When
he was
when he
frightening
had this
people.
going.
Oh, it was unbelievable. And when he was doing a little this, he was possessing the
I would
guitar.
Stay out of the way when he
that
was
was awesome. And the pecking order in Montrose is pretty obvious in that Ronnie is the show.
He's the whole thing.
And if you're gonna invade Ronnie's personal space,
you don't want to go there.
No. There's words exchanged.
Yeah, the lead singer I think actually kissed his ring a couple of times during the show.
Oh,
Got on his
absolutely.
knees just to make sure he knew the man was.
But when he arrived at the show, I thought Ronnie Montrose was actually my accountant. I mean, he was like this bald older guy. Then he got on stage.
You didn't like Rock Candy, did you?
Oh.
How
about a little space age sacrifice?
See, that one I have to admit I had forgotten about that, and that one was big time in my high school years. So when he broke into that, looking out.
But Rock Candy was unbelievable.
Unbelievable. So I don't know what else you guys wanted. When you're talking about rock and roll, we gave you it. We gave you rock and roll.
Absolutely.
There was nothing else to do.
Absolutely. It was coming at you like a Roger Clemens fastball right there.
And then I don't think anybody guessed who was coming next.
You couldn't have guessed who was coming next.
But we warned you about the funk face. Let's take a look at that.
And we funked it up.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, hit! Take me to your place of faith. I'm sick and tired of the rat race. On the rocket ship, no time to waste. When they're rocking, I just want to relative.
Oh yeah. Don't tell me you don't feel it.
You can't help but feel it.
Oh,
I'm feeling
man.
the funk right now.
Absolutely. I feel a little funky just
Oh.
reliving it. I mean, slipping into darkness. I mean, we slipped right into
We
darkness.
went right into the darkness.
And then, I mean, Lowrider, Why Can't We Be Friends?
Why Can't We Be Friends?
Me and Baby Brother?
Oh, you're not going to spill the wine, are you?
Oh, man.
Don't spill the wine.
How great was War?
You know, these guys were not only playing great music, but were they the most entertaining bunch of people on
Oh,
stage?
awesome. They just looked like they were having a good time. And how nice were they?
Honestly, these were the nicest group of people I think we've ever met.
Yeah.
They just could
You've
not
ever
stop.
met, yeah.
They could not stop thanking us. It was incredible.
Absolutely.
After putting on a show like that, and didn't you like that slow motion move?
Oh, yeah, we just do one of these.
Yeah, a little bit of that.
And
right
then
there.
that version of Lowrider was 24 minutes long.
Now,
I mean, it was
let's just think about this. What wasn't included? We had a little bit of Cream. I think we had some White Room going on.
yeah, we had Iron Man in there.
We had
some
Iron
Sabbath.
Man going on.
I mean, we diverted into several different genres, and we had the slow motion walk. I mean,
was unbelievable.
Lowrider was unbelievable.
I don't know. I know people enjoyed all the acts, but I think War was not only the big surprise, but I think won over a lot of fans.
Yo, you bet.
'Cause they were
I have
great.
my Best of War album.
Of course you
I've
do.
got it in the rotation.
It's in the rotation.
In my car right now.
And in fact, going back to the Montrose thing, I've played Space Age Sacrifice about 10 times.
Oh,
It's just in the
man.
last 2 days. because
Absolutely.
I just need to feel that.
Absolutely.
So, War, fantastic. Hope you guys had your funk faces on. Great stuff.
War was the truth. Oh man. And we finish it off with Cheap Trick. They're like rock icons.
I'm not going to surrender. There's no
way.
surrender coming from me.
And the thing you need to know is that I want you to want me.
Yeah, I understand that completely.
And if you want my love, you got it.
You've got it. You've got it.
I mean,
if you want the flame, we can light that for you.
Oh man,
there's all kinds of
the
things.
flame we had. I thought people were going to start making that any second. I mean, the flame was like.
And have you seen anybody who had more guitar picks than Rick Nielsen?
Have you seen anyone with more guitar necks?
Picks, necks. It was incredible.
And then there was an effect I saw backstage on a list on the sheet. There was an effect called Rick's Magic Stairs, and you saw that was basically just a mini staircase.
It was a mini staircase, but he got up there.
But they were magic stairs apparently, and it was a lot of fun. I mean,
they played it out.
Cheap Trick, one of the great rock bands. You got to give it up to them.
They played all the hits, and in particular the last 20-25 minutes. But they just took it home and locked it up, man.
Took it home.
People were dancing in the aisles. It was great stuff.
Absolutely,
just loved it. So. I don't know, the Palooza too, man.
There's nothing else we can say about it.
Fantastic. Thanks, everybody, coming, all the people who helped organize it, and what can we say?
Rock on.
That's it, baby.
Let's do Plays of the Week.
Plays of the Week. Let me start off with three mentions of some great safety performance last year. Two departments that went through the whole year without an OSHA recordable injury. Delayed coking and distilling hydroprocessing. Give it up right there. Fantastic.
And although there's some overlap, Operations Team 2, also the whole year.
Team number 2 across the board, across all departments. So great stuff for you guys. Well done.
Awesome stuff. With the leak we had and impacting the marina, I want to thank John Marangoni and Gordon Johnson, who went down to the marina, helped interface with some of the boaters down there. Right. It was really difficult to distinguish, of course, after a heavy rain, what was shells and what was just natural runoff. But the bottom line is we got out in there and we treated it like it was ours no matter what. And thanks to those two guys for doing that.
Did it the right way. I want to mention the folks at the hydrocracker last week when we were starting the unit up had found a leak under a compressor J98. I just want to commend the folks there for the quick and very proper response to that event. Could have really kind of been a little bit more chaotic, but folks handled it very professionally, understood what happened, got things back in order, and brought the unit back on up. So well done.
And a plate of the week down to the folks at ETP. Got real close there with all the heavy rains.
Oh, yeah.
There were other facilities who had to discharge untreated water, but we didn't.
Not us.
And give it up to them.
Very well done there. And finally, the folks at the Flexicoker, they got the LCR back in service here about 10 days ago after fighting it for some period of time. Saw some leaks under the insulation. Did the right thing, stopped it, stripped the insulation off. We're going to get it clamped this week. Exactly the right response, guys. Well done. And for the franchise player, here's what I'm talking about. All of the people who were involved in the turnaround activities.
Every single one.
Every single one. We're talking operations, technical, maintenance, turnaround. I mean, it covers everybody who was here, from December 9th on through this week when we had to take the turnaround early. Folks worked through the holidays. It was a tough time. People put in a lot of hours. I just want to thank every single one of you. It was a tough haul, but we're about done. And I think getting this thing behind us, we're going to have a great year in 2006. So thanks all you guys. You guys are the franchise players.
Absolutely. It's all the time we have. So like Robin Zander and Rick Nielsen heading for the limo after Budokan, we are...